me this year was just about slowing down and trusting the process and enjoying the process a little bit more too.
So what makes this area unique compared to other places you've lived?
It's kind of known for being the endurance capital of the world. You can go trail all the way from Beals Point all the way to Tahoe.
There's a new trail that was actually recently built here in Folsom called the Johnny Cash Trail, and it runs up and over the prison actually. So we have something on the racing team where we'll go out and we'll do the prison loop.
Folsom has a great doorstep to trail system for running. You can escape all the noise pretty easily right from where you live in Folsom. For me, trail running it's a way to kind of breathe in peace and get away from a lot of the distractions of the real world. Out here, you know, oftentimes all you're going to hear is your own breath and your footsteps, maybe some birds, and it's a great way to just escape and push yourself in relative silence. And that's really what I enjoy about it the most, is exploring your own limitations and seeing how far you can go with it. For me, this year was just about slowing down and kind of trusting the process and enjoying the process a little bit more too. Oftentimes in my career, I've gotten excited when I've run really well, and then an easy day turns into a workout. So running within myself has really been paying off for me in my eyes. The 2018 Chucking Up 50K up in Bellingham, Washington went really well for me this year. I was able to win the race against a strong field, and I think that the patience that I used throughout the training for that really kind of fed into the race, and it ended up working out really well for me. After my time running track at the University of Oregon, I started working at a running store in Ashland that was primarily trail focused, and I met my girlfriend Jocelyn there. She and a lot of others really pushed me to get into trail running and ultras, and when she had the opportunity to manage the Fleet Feet down in Folsom, I decided to kind of pick up and go with her because this was a really big trail running community, and I've been really happy with that decision. I think that trail running's breathed a lot of new life into my running career, and the opportunity that HOKA and trail running has provided for me is a chance to see the world, and I think it's just a good vehicle to do that with. I've kind of been a fisherman my whole life. It's always been something that I've really enjoyed doing. If I catch something or not, usually I don't get anything, but when you do, it's a lot of fun. I fished a lot growing up in Oregon. There was a lot of bodies of water up there, and we would have to drive maybe 30 or 40 minutes to get to one. Down here, it's right out my doorstep. You know, I live a half-mile away from Lake Natoma and maybe a mile and a half from Folsom Lake, and only 20 minutes from the American River up in Auburn. So there's a lot of different places to fish, and it's just a process that I really enjoy. In some ways, like running, it brings me a lot of peace and relaxation just to cast something out there, and I really like it. Me and Jocelyn like to take our little puppy down to the lake and play fetch with him, or maybe sometimes take him for a short little jog. He's a 5-month-old Australian cattle dog named Roby, after Roby Point. It's mile 99 on the Western States Trail. So.
Patience is key. When you're training for an ultra, You can't rush things. Being more patient out on the trail has allowed me to become a stronger runner. Knowing other ultra runners and just running with other, I call them my trail brothers and sisters, they've taught me to enjoy the sport a lot more and to just have fun, because it's not a track race where you have to run the same splits in order to hit a certain time that you want to run. It's about enjoying the process, being patient with your end result. Cole is my boyfriend. We've been dating for about 1.5 years. And I also consider Cole my best friend. He's somebody that I feel comfortable sharing everything with. Cole and I met in Ashland, Oregon while I was working at the running store and going to school. We both had a pretty big passion for trail running at the time, and Cole and I moved back down here to Folsom, where I started working here in December. I co-managed the Fleet Feet Sports Folsom location here. I recently started coaching our Fleet Feet racing team, which I've actually been a part of since 2013, and I joined the team shortly after it started. So I was about 17 when I started running on the racing team, and now I'm 23 and I'm a head coach.
We'll be turning around really soon.
These are people who come out and run for fun after a long day at work and want something not super stressful. I think the really cool thing about this community here is that you could have somebody walking or training for the Boston Marathon or just trying to run their first 5K. You have a big diversity of people who come together to run here and all reach a similar type of goal. Coaching this racing team reminds me that there is so much joy out there and so much fun to have on the trails, and to not take running so seriously.
I knew that Folsom was a suburb of Sacramento for the most part, and I just imagined it to be very busy traffic-wise. I was probably going to be doing a lot of sidewalk running, stopping at crosswalks, and I couldn't have been more wrong. Folsom has a great doorstep to trail system for running, and if you want, you can escape all the noise pretty easily right from where you live in Folsom. And just a short drive to get up to Auburn, and there's over 100 miles of trails besides the Western States course.
There's a new trail that was actually recently built here in Folsom called the Johnny Cash Trail. Johnny Cash played at the Folsom prison back in the days, and this trail starts right here in downtown Folsom, and it runs up and over the prison actually. So we have something on the racing team, our Sunday runs typically, where we'll go out and we'll do the prison loop. You can be on a little bit of trails if you want heading back into Folsom. Kind of halfway through, you get some really good views of the prison.
It's really convenient that we live right around the corner from Fleet Feet Folsom where Jocelyn works. It's also kind of like a hub of running for the community. The trails are maybe a half mile away. There's just a lot of things that can be done right from that corner there of Fleet Feet Folsom.
So who are some of your training partners in town?
Well, I run with SRA Elite on Sunday mornings at 8 right here from Coffee Republic. It's just a convenient spot. It's right next to Fleet Feet. It's really close to the trails. Either you can head up to Beals Point, Folsom Lake, or you can just do the little lake loop, Natoma.
So what makes this area unique compared to other places you've lived?
It's kind of known for being the endurance capital of the world. That's why a lot of people come here. They have the Western States Trail all the way from Tahoe to Auburn. There's over like 50 miles of bike path here in Folsom alone, and then you can go trail all the way from Beals Point all the way to Tahoe. It's like 130 miles of single track.